wrap up the series tonight. Ellett swings at it, but the Sharks will clear it out to center ice. 15 seconds left in the period. Another rush for Toronto. Mironov over the line and played it in for Gardner. 9 seconds back of the net. On the other side, 6 seconds. That will do it. It's hammered off the boards down the ice. And the second period is over. With the shots 8-3 in favor of the Sharks.
And they scored the only goal, and they were clearly the better team in the second period. The Leafs have a monumental task. First, they have to get re-energized. They looked like they were out of petrol in period 2.
So over 2 periods, Toronto out-shooting San Jose 16-15. And as Harry mentioned, the only goal, Arianov scoring. Bill Berg coming up in our second intermission, chatting with Ron McLean. So the score after 2 periods here in Game 6. Toronto 1, San Jose 1.
At Home Building Center, we see every home improvement job as a big job. Sir, what does big mean to you?
500 feet of fencing.
Whoa, big plans, man?
Oh, yeah, 10 houses to drywall.
Planning a big entrance?
No, I'm putting in a new door.
Oh, right.
If you have big plans, we have friendly advice and a great price.
Like our exclusive Alliance Series vinyl siding comes in white with wood grain finish and a 50-year warranty.
So come to Home Building Center, and more power to you.
It's a land with over 10,000 miles of coastline, thousands of inlets, coves, guts, and bays. A land that lives by the sea. No wonder our dogs have webbed feet. Imagine that.
The economy is unpredictable. Tomorrow's weather, uncertain. Tomorrow's fashions, who knows? As for sports, but with 4 new time-definite services, real-time tracking, and on-time delivery guarantees across Canada, UPS gives you new control over every item you send. Hey, life is unpredictable. Your courier shouldn't be.
Recently, the Canadian Automobile Association chose one car for its Used Car Performance Award, the Acura Integra. Meanwhile, the Automobile Journalists Association of Canada called the new Integra 1994's best new sports car. And why not? If the Integra is so good used, just imagine how it is new.
Introducing Scotch-Brite Never Rust Wool Soap Pads. Scotch-Brite wool soap pads out-clean steel wool with no messy rust and no painful splinters. So you don't have to go to pieces to come clean. Scotch-Brite Never Rust Wool Soap Pads. Better than the rust. Another bright idea from 3M.
What Eat More gives is dark, chewy toffee loaded with peanuts. Real chewy and not too sweet tasting. So what Eat More takes is time. It's a real long chew. Eat More.
This is the place where the dawn breaks earliest, the new year comes soonest, where the Atlantic first meets the New World, the oldest city in North America, the far east of the Western world. Imagine that.
After 40 minutes, brought to you by Bell Canada.
Back live in Toronto, it's Game 6. The Sharks and the Leafs are deadlocked at 1, and you can see that little ripple on Lake Ontario. That's the Fluttering Hearts impacting the lake. Bill Berg joins me. I don't know what I'm talking about, Bill, but you can bail me out here. Tough game so far. What do you think about it?
Well, we seemed to be in control there in the first period. We were playing well. I thought we were getting our dump ins, you know, and we were forcing them and taking the body and getting our offensive zone chances that way. But you know, the second period, I think we got away from it and they got a goal, and you know, we're going to have to get that play back.
You're really running into a string of penalties, and I'm not sure you're overly aggressive in this game, but that's the way it is. You can't change that. It does seem, though, that you're not hitting as much as you were in the first 10 minutes. Do you concur with that?
Oh, yeah. We're, you know, we've been successful against these guys. It's been when we've gotten the puck in deep and got a lot of offensive zone hits. And, you know, if we can't do that, then we're back on our heels and we can't really be aggressive with them. And we definitely want to take the play to them, but, you know, we're not dumping it in and we're not getting our chances.
Some of the best hitters on the Leaf lineup are on your lines, Ezel, Osborne, and yourself. But can you afford to do any running around when you've got a line like that OV line going the other way?
No, that's the tough part, playing against a line like that. They're always swinging back, and you know, they're waiting for an opportunity. So if you get over-aggressive, bang, they're hitting a hole. And a lot of times they'll get the puck and just throw it to open areas, and then they skate for the puck there. So you really have to watch it and try and get them along the boards and try and rub them out and not go for the overly big hit.
You won the American League Championship, the Calder Cup in Springfield. Were you a defense that year?
Halfway through, I was. The latter part of the year, Jimmy Roberts switched me up to forward, so it's. I'm glad he did.
How much has it helped you? Oh, yeah, we want to show a neat play. Maybe this helped you read a play. As a former defenseman, Sandis Ozolinsh, Jeff Norton have been deadly. Tell me about keeping an eye on those guys, because here you do a great job penalty killing.
Well, you know, you've always got to be ready for them, and as soon as Makarov gets it there, you know that Ozolinsh is coming in the back door, so you have to keep your head on a swivel on that play like that.
Tell me about your brother Bob. I saw him in Chatham refereeing in the Colonial League a couple of years ago. He says, how's my brother doing up in Toronto? And you're doing great, obviously. How's he doing? Where did he play this year?
Well, he played in Wichita in the Central League, and they won the championship this year, and he had a great playoff, and he's getting married this summer as well, so it's I think it was a nice wedding gift for him that they won the championship, and I think it'll be a great summer for him. 2 rings in 1 year. Well, good luck in the third period tonight. You got your work cut out for you, but all the best. Thanks, Rob. Bill Berger, the Toronto Maple Leafs, 1-1 at the end of 2 periods of play. The Leafs trying to stave off elimination here on Gardens ice tonight. Coming up next, Long in the Tooth will explain what these three fellows have in common when we return. Maple Leaf Gardens and our coverage of the 1994 Stanley Cup playoffs on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
So, you decided to go out and become an entrepreneur. Hey, why not? You're young, aggressive, willing to take a few risks. It's no wonder small business drives our economy, and why we created Advantage Preferred Entry Service, our greatest long-distance savings plan ever for small companies. Hey, you've earned your stripes. Sign up today. After all, we view small business the same way you do.
After 40 minutes. Brought to you by Bell Canada.
Tonight, crime and teens.
We laugh because we can commit murder.
Is the Young Offenders Act too soft? CBC Primetime News.
I believe in the Esso products more than I ever did before because I've been to the plant and I have seen what they do here.
They've really proven to me that our products are top quality.
It's the additives involved that make them different.
We do stringent tests on gasoline both during production as well as at the retail pump site.
The quality seal, there's a substance to it. It really means something.
The quality commitment seal, it's a true symbol of what Esso is doing. So with that seal, you know that you're guaranteed a good product from Esso.
Squeezing in a run before your meeting at 9 would be good. Finding out it's been moved to 10 would be even better. Boldly go with Bell Mobility.
Here's another way Toyota beats the competition. Resale value, the most honest measurement of quality. On average, after 2 years, Toyota Corollas retain over 80% of their initial cost. Their import competition, not as good. The domestics, not even close. If that doesn't pique your interest in a new Corolla, maybe this will.
Red Tag Days are the year's best time to buy Toyota's best sellers. Great savings on all Corolla models with no limit 5.8% financing. But hurry, Red Tag offers end May 31st.
When hockey season's finally over, summer's starting. So I don't want to spend all my time mowing the lawn. The Noma Brute Multi-Mode. It's today's answer. First, the Brute side discharges, or bags the cuttings for easy composting. Later in the season, it turns into a great mulcher. And in the fall, the Brute's leaf vac cleans up all those maple leaves. So, when hockey starts again, I just switch from one winning mode to another.
The Noma Brute, available at Pro Hardware and other fine retailers.
Hurry! Get a Paramount Canada's Wonderland season pass now and squeeze 122 days of fun out of just $54.95. For less than the cost of 2 regular visits, get all the new Paramount fun we've squeezed into the park. Like Days of Thunder, the ultimate simulator ride, plus 10 shows, 50 rides, and 10 acres of water fun, all free with a season pass. And hot concerts are only $12 more each. So hurry! Buy a pass at the park or Ticketmaster before the price goes up May 16. And squeeze a whole season of fun out of the best entertainment value around.
It's the 15th hole. You think you're on your way to a birdie. The boss thinks you're on your way to a meeting. So call. Boldly go with Bell Mobility.
We're back at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto and the arena in San Jose. More on that in a moment. First, here's the equalizer by Igor Larionov in the second period for San Jose. That makes it 1-1. And here's the reaction of fans at the arena in the city by the bay, or at least one of them. They have about 10,000 fans coming out to the games. They gather at $3 a pop, money to charity there. So just another great story coming out of this remarkable run for the Sharks. They'll play Toronto, if necessary, Saturday night in Game 7. That'll be an 8 o'clock Eastern start. We can assure you of this game, New Jersey and the New York Rangers. Rangers blitz New Jersey all year, winning 6 regular season games, but these are the playoffs, and they'll get it started Sunday at MSG at 7:30 ET. Well, we mentioned 3 Sharks who are long in the tooth. They have plenty of NHL experience. Tommy Woodcock, their trainer, broke into the NHL in 1967 with St. Louis. That was a year Pete Stemkowski won a cup with the Leafs, and Wayne Thomas, their coach, also has over 20 years experience. We asked them about San Jose.
Well, I always feel like I might get out of the shower in the morning, you know, and think I'm back to that Dallas episode where this is all a dream with, 11 wins last year and coming all this way. But think about it. We're only 9 wins away from winning the Stanley Cup. So, this is a tremendous thing for this organization. It's great for me to get back into this game and playing Detroit, an own alumni, and I think my card is under scrutiny right now as far as Detroit's concerned. And if we're successful against Toronto, I might get tossed out of their alumni too. But it's really been a tremendous experience so far.
Well, this team here, I compare it mostly to the first year when I was in the league with St. Louis, and we had the same kind of a situation going. We had, guys that want to do something. We had probably a little more talent then because we had Glenn Hall and Jacques Plante in the nets. But nobody thought we would go past the first round, even went past the first round. In fact, we went to the finals that year, so it looks like we might be doing that again.
Goaltending's been a big focus. Tell me about Artur Zerbe and compare him to anybody that you can think of that's had maybe good seasons and good playoff runs.
I don't know. There hasn't been a lot of guys that have had the amount of minutes that Arthur's played this year and had a lot of success, meaning, to me, getting to the finals. And I think Hextall did it one year and maybe Eddie Balfour. But other than that, there haven't been a lot of goalies that have played more than 55 games. So hopefully he can be one of 3 that have done that, played, 65, 70 games and made it to the finals.
How do you work with that guy?
Well, I haven't had a lot to do with Artur's, actually. I've mentioned a couple of things during the season. I think if it's catastrophic, I'll talk to him, but he's had a heck of a year, and why fix something that isn't broken? I think sometimes coaches try to justify their position and rather than doing what's necessary.
How do you work with that guy is a question I'm often asked. Wayne Thomas on Artur Zerbe, the brilliant goaltender for the San Jose Sharks. It's 1-1 after 2. More on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC in a moment.
Protector, a razor so sharp it has to be kept behind bars. Protective guard wires ensure that while the shave is close, there is no safer wet shave. Protector, only from Wilkinson Sword.
Here's something you don't see every day. Outstanding 5.8% Mazda financing on 626 Kronos, Mazda Protege, and 323. Or get a great lease rate. What do you think, Pat?
This is a big audience here.
of the world. Air Canada and CIBC Aero Gold Visa turn what you buy into Aeroplan miles. Aeroplan and CIBC Aero Gold Visa. Air Canada for all the world.
When you think about fresh taste, you think about foods like bread, fruits and vegetables, fresh eggs. But you probably don't know how important freshness is to the taste of your Diet Cola. Diet Pepsi introduces Fresh Taste Dating, a date stamped on every Diet Pepsi that guarantees the taste you love will be at its absolute best. Fresh Taste Dating from Diet Pepsi.
Protector, a razor so sharp it has to be kept behind bars. Protective guard wires ensure that while the shave is close, there is no safer wet shave. Protector, only from Wilkinson Sword.
Chill out, Pat. Right now from Mazda, get air conditioning or equivalent value credit of $1,500 or lease from $235 a month.
I don't believe it. The referee's apologizing to Burns.
Bob Cole, Harry Neal, ready to go for the third period here in Game 6 at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. A 1-1 tie. Clark scored first at 5:26 from Gilmore and Gill. The Leafs out shooting the Sharks. They had their best period, 13-7. The Sharks have their best period in the second. Larionov scoring from Garpenlov and Ozelinch at 8:43. And the shots were 8-3 in that period for San Jose.
Leafs lost Dave Anderchuk right here when he and Peterson are going for the puck. Anderchuk hurt his knee, his left knee, as it buckles underneath him long before he hits the boards. He will not be back tonight, and the Leafs better have a better period than the second, or none of them will be back after tonight.
All right, you see the rituals from both teams. And now the San Jose Sharks will try to end the Maple Leaf season. Toronto will try to tie the series for a 7-game Saturday. We will now see what unfolds. McCrary comes to center ice. Here's the third period, folks. Toronto and San Jose in Game 6, a 1-1 tie. Gilmore, a little edgy, now in position. On the face-off. Mironov fading back. It's a power play, remember, for Toronto. Another 40 seconds left in the penalty to Duchesne of San Jose. The Leafs go after one here. Clark with Gilmore playing it back. Ellen, he doesn't shoot it. He's covered too quickly. Gilmore takes it again. Back to Mironov. He rolled it in there. It's centered. Allen coming in. And a fine save by Erie, falling in front of it. Clark fanned on it in front. Here's Mironov. He can't find it. Borchevsky did. Baker takes over, trying to lift it out. Erie will wrap it down the ice, and that will kill the rest of the penalty. Duchesne is out of the penalty box. The Sharks have held off the Leafs on that power play. 1-1 tie. Allen putting a high one in. Play called.
Well, a lot of little things make up a successful playoff for any team. Bob Erie, the captain, just made two great plays, killing a penalty here for the first 45 seconds. First of all, he took Elliot's point shot away twice. And second, watch the shot clock here. He comes back to help his defenseman. Looks over, there's Elliott. Down he goes. Doesn't know where that puck's going to hit him. It may hit him in the head, and makes a great shot clock.
Terrific play. Bob Erie. Lefebvre shoots the puck in. On the boards, McCown gets a shot. It was tipped in front of the net by Larionov and just missed. The Leafs try to force the Sharks inside their own line. They do again. Here's a pass in front, and Zezo couldn't reach it. The Leafs come out here on the third, attacking. Back to the net, Ozelinch trying to pull away. Makarov coming back. Feeds it out to Garpenlov, to Larionov at center, and he shoots it in. They will make changes as the Leafs come back. And Lefebvre, a long pass to Berg. He'll just throw it in at the net, and Herbe steers it aside for Peterson. The Leafs are changing now. Coming up to the 2-minute mark of the third. Krupa is nailed! Baumgartner coming out and had one thing in mind. Nail the first guy with the puck. It was Krupa. And it nearly caused a big turnover inside the San Jose line. Sharks backing up now. Passing it around deep. Elliott skating to center. To Duchesne, and his shot deflected wide of the goal. The Leafs, Baumgartner feeding it outside the line. Too far for Eastwood. And the Sharks, Cronin. He lost it at his own blue line. Elliott recovers and comes back out. The play called. Cronin was nailed at the line and obviously hurt.
Well, McCreary, the referee, didn't see it to make a call. Did either one of the linesmen, if in fact it was a high stick. Cronin, who has been the most aggressive Shark by far, and it looks like nobody, although the linesmen are still conferring with McCreary. Remember now, the linesman can call a stick violation penalty.
I think Pat DiPuzzo was the linesman at the far side. He's the gentleman now talking to the referee, McCreary, and you'll see it now at the blue line. Cronin goes down.
No doubt about the fact that Gartner's stick hit him in the face. Accidental or not, you can get a penalty for it. The length of the argument usually means no penalty.
The gate remains shut. Face-off is going to come near the San Jose line. And Gartner dodges a big bullet.
Yes, he did. It wasn't one high stick that was on purpose, but we know this year in the National League they're calling the accidental high sticks. Anderchuk is back, but he hasn't played a shift here. He's to give it a try right now.
He left in the second period, a leg injury. Went to the room, did not return with the team. Now returns and is on the ice. Dave Andreychuk. A 1-1 tie, 2.5 minutes into the third period. Peterson starting the play to Baker. Pass doesn't work. The Leafs into center ice area. Andreychuk shoots it ahead for Gartner. He's offside. It hit him. He got across the blue line and then picked it up and skated in, but he was offside.
Well, the timing of the Leafs shoot-ins was excellent in the first period, but hasn't been good since. You have to know what's going in at the red line when you're one of the forwards without the puck. And if you have the puck, a forward or a defenseman, you have to know that your winger's timing that. So he has some kind of a jump on the defenseman for the forecheck.
Toronto from center. Dave Elliott lobs a high one into the left of Herbe, and Cronin back to the net to pick it up. Eastwood giving chase. They made a quick pass that got to the line, and Gill stopped it. Borschevsky centered it. Scrambled forward in front of the net, and Herbe down to hang on to it. And Andreychuk was banging away, looking for the loose puck, but no dice again. And Herbe had the big mitt on it.
Well, a giveaway in their own zone after a clear possession on the shoot-in ends up in a chance for the Leafs as Borschevsky centers it to Andreychuk, but he really can't. There's the end of the turnover right there. Borschevsky puts it out in front. Eastwood gets a bit of a shot at it, but not much, and Andreychuk can't find the rebound.
Gilmore, Clark, and Gartner. Larionov, Garpenlov, Makarov for San Jose. 3 minutes in the third now. 1-1 the score. Down the wing. The pass intercepted at the blue line. The Leafs dump it in. Ozolinsh is coming back as he saw Herbe coming out and wanting to play it. Lefebvre tried to hook it in. Up high again over the glass into the crowd. 3 minutes, 16 seconds gone in the third period of Game 6.
happens when a viper sheds its skin. Presenting the new 300 horsepower V10 Dodge Ram. The first truck that lives up to the name, pickup.
Canadian Tire has a new credit card that rewards you every time you use it in the store. Introducing the Options Card Member Reward Program. For every $1 you charge to the card, you earn 10 Options points. Once you collect only 3,000 points, you can redeem them immediately for any product in the store, from hardware to auto service to sporting goods. The more Options points you collect, the more you save. The Canadian Tire Credit Card. One card, many rewards. There's a lot more to Canadian Tire for a lot less.
We take you back to 1930 Maple Leaf Gardens to remind you closed captioning of tonight's game sponsored by Household, providing financial services for the family. Marinov nearly gave it away at center ice. Krupa will come back to the net to pick it up for San Jose. We are in a 1-1 tie, and 3.5 minutes gone in the third period. The patient San Jose Sharks come in. Dahlen shot, great save. Cut back, kicked out the right pad. His best save of the game. Dahlen around the net, trying to wrap it in. Another shot, just missed on the far side. Good pressure now by San Jose. Eastwood went in there to bump his man. Marinov hit Duchesne. Puck loose back to the net. And it's Rouse coming out for Toronto. Up to Eastwood, he's trying to shoot it in and get on. Andrechuk brings it in. He falls over Peterson. Eastwood getting to the Leaf bench. And Gilmore had to go back to pick up the loose puck, and he's cutting up the center. Stop, but Elliott trailing him brings it in to Gilmore again. Along the boards, he had to give it away inside the San Jose line. And the Sharks sent 3 away. Larionov, Garpenlov, Makarov, and getting back was Clark. Here's Gardner speeding away. Makarov chasing down the penalty coming up. Gilmore was nailed at center ice. And the San Jose Sharks are going to get a penalty here at 4:39 of the third period.
A smart play by Gilmore. He was trying to get in the rush with Wendell Clark. He felt a little tug from the stick of Sandis Ozolinsh, and down he went. Referee McCurry saw it and gave the penalty. You watch it. Gilmore does this as well as any player in the league. He was tripped as he had a step on Ozolinsh. Potvin makes a great stop on a 3-on-2. Elliott makes a wonderful pass to Dahlen, and Dahlen with a good shot. Andrechuk trying to tip the puck out of the zone. Can't quite get it done, but not because he didn't give it the playoff effort.
There's Ozolinsh in the penalty box. Interference is the call. And the Leafs have Clark, Gilmore, Borchevsky, Marinov, and Gill. The Sharks penalty killers tested again. The Leaf power play 0 for 2 in the game. The score is tied, 1-1. Baker on the face-off for San Jose. Leafs win the draw, but Gill mishandled it. They'll have to scamper back on side. Gill again lost it at his own blue line. Got it back. Duchesne nearly picked it up and skated in. Here's Marinov to Borchevsky. That's out of his reach. He got it again, though, and slapped it in. However, he was offside, did not have control of the puck. And offside called at the San Jose line.
Well, in the neutral zone, even when the Sharks are killing penalties, you got to make good passes. Even if it's a 15-foot pass, it's got to be on the guy's stick. It can't be close to him. Here's what I'm talking about right here. I mean, that pass has got to be right there. It's not well handled by Borchevsky, and it rolls ahead of him, and they never do get it back. Remember, 3 across when the Sharks penalty kill.
5 minutes into the third period. We're still tied at 1. The Leafs on a power play. Minute 40 left in the Ozolinsh penalty. Marinov, quick pass to Gill. Behind him, right through his skates. Marinov again. Good penalty killing so far by San Jose. Duchesne watching Gill. He's going to bring it out. Comes to center and fires it in there. Baker missed it. Clark has it. Back to the line to Marinov. Marinov gives it to Gill. Back to Marinov. Marinov winds up. He might go to Gill. He does. He shoots. Wendell Clark gets that goal. And the Toronto Maple Leafs got the crowd on their feet. They're leading 2-1.
Some good passing by the two Leaf point men to get in position to make the pass. There's two of them. One more coming back here. And that allows the Todd Gill to toss it in. Almost a pass as well as a shot. And as we've said many times in this series, the San Jose defensemen are not very tough in front of the net. And it cost them a goal right there.
Clark exploding this whole building again with his second goal of the game. This one huge power play goal by Clark from Gill and Marinov at 5:32. 2-1 Toronto. Sharks, a very patient team now. They've demonstrated that throughout the playoffs. Makarov tried to go in. He was stopped by Lefebvre, who couldn't get the puck out. Norton shot. Potvin the save. Karpenlov is jammed on the boards by Lefebvre. And the Maple Leafs get the puck off the glass and down the ice. Nobody touched it. And that'll be an icing call against Toronto. Clark second on a power play from Gill and Marinov at 5:32. Clark scored in the first at 5:26. Larionov, the San Jose goal in the second. Here it is again.
Watch Clark. He gets himself in position. He's not being harassed at all by the Shark defenseman, Krupa, who should have been trying to push him out of there. And here's how the Leaf bench saw Clark's power play goal. Silent, but only for a second.
This is heavy-duty stuff here at Maple Leaf Gardens tonight. The Sharks trying to end the Leaf season. The Leafs trying to score them back in the series. They trail 3-2, leading in the sixth game 2-1. Nearing the 7-minute mark of the third period. Toronto trying to clear the zone. Eastwood decides to skate with it. He and Andreychuk and Marinov go in. Andreychuk stopped it. Eastwood got in there. Tipped it up the middle. Goaltender Irby came up with a big stop. Two Sharks come out of the zone. Whitney across center. Over the Leaf line on Marinov. Backs up a bit. Marinov checked him, and Rouse takes over to Eastwood. He has no time to move it. Whitney checked him immediately. The Leafs get it to the line and out. Baker hooked it back in, and the Sharks will change. 7:10 gone in the third. 2-1 Toronto. Irby playing the puck for Peterson. He was forced to go back. Osborne caught him. Duchesne was hit. Duchesne got his stick on it, however, and then Ellick fired it to center, but he was nailed by Lacroix. Dahlen fired one into the Leaf zone. Cecil back first. Duchesne tried to carry him into the boards. Here's Dahlen. Centered it right in front of the net. Score! The San Jose Sharks had tied it as Norton came in, and Dahlen, always dangerous around the net, put a perfect pass out, and we're tied at 2.
Well, the problem started with a soft pass behind the net after it looked like the Leafs had possession. Todd Gill tosses it back there, and Dahlen's there. Nobody takes Norton, who comes off the point, to get himself in the slot to put it in. Defensive zone coverage. You cannot have the defenseman showing up and the forward on that side not taking them all the way in.
So Clark gave the Leafs a 2-1 lead at 5:32. And now, 2 minutes and 6 seconds later, Norton ties the game again. Dahlen assisted. 2-2 tie here in the third. Here's Berg missing it. McCown, his shot blocked by Ozolinsh. And it's shot down the ice. Makarov is coming out there with Garpenlov, and he was jammed along with the linesman. Lefebvre hit everybody. Gilmore is coming over that line. Into Clark, driving for the net. He's knocked down on the puck. It squirts loose. Larionov takes over. Berg chases him. And the pass comes to Moore. Up the center ice, Jason Moore lifting a high one in. Lefebvre back. Scored tied again. 2-2. Nearing the 9-minute mark of the third period. McCown and Erie going at it there near the blue line. McCreary allows the play to continue. And Clark takes it at his own line. Just threw it out for Baker to slap it back in for San Jose. Again into the center ice zone. Moore dumped it in. McCown, tough time handling it. Whitney came in to hit him. McCown trying to pull away, was upended. Andrechuk is coming out there for Toronto. Got as far as center and shot it in. Maybe he didn't make it, but the goaltender prevented any icing call by playing it. Eastwood kicked it loose. It comes back to him, and three Sharks are there, and Whitney brings the puck out. To center ice is Duchesne. Lifting one into the Toronto zone, and Putman will come out to play that. Rouse for Toronto. Can't clear the zone. Here's Mironov getting going. He's to center. Played it on the right side, and the penalty has been called against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the Sharks will have the man advantage when we come back.
10 years ago, the world's first Magic Wagon rolled off our Windsor production line, and they're still rolling, with over 4 million on the road today. Your local Chrysler dealer is celebrating Magic Wagon's 10th anniversary by offering the safety and value leader with dual airbags, side impact beams, air, V6, automatic 7-passenger seating, and more at this great 10th anniversary price. Be part of this great Canadian success story. Now at your local Chrysler dealer, a dealer you can believe in.
Hewlett-Packard LaserJet printers. The smart, reliable way to make a better impression.
10:32 to go, 2-2 in the third period. Todd Ellick and Andrechuk exchange hooks, grabs, comments, slashes. No penalty yet, and then Andrechuk trips him. You can't take those kind of penalties. Team frustration. Worked again.
So the Sharks with a great chance now. They're tied with the Leafs at 2. They're up a man. We're coming up to the midway mark of the third period in Game 6. The Sharks up in the series 3-2. And here they come. Peterson gets to center. Sees a little room, so keeps going. Dahlen to the corner. Dahlen in around the net. Ellick takes Gilmore out of the play. Now Ellick on the boards against Rouse. It's shut back along the line. Goodrow gets sent with a shot. How about a save? And he kicked away the rebound before anybody could touch it. And it's cleared all the way down the ice again. Minute 15 left of the Andrechuk penalty. Goodrow back to the net. Leading this attack on the power play, Sharks. Norton feeding it in to Erie. He slapped it immediately. Wide of the goal. Lefebvre drilled it on the boards, and it's down the ice again. 55 seconds left in the penalty to Dave Andrechuk of Toronto. Big power play for San Jose. Big penalty-killing team out there now for Toronto. We're tied at 2. The Sharks are offside. 44 seconds left in the penalty.
Now, has there been a better player in this series, other than maybe Doug Gilmore, than Igor Larionov? Played last year in Switzerland, picked up on waivers when the Vancouver Canucks watched Larionov leave the National League. And he has been not only an inspiration to this team, he can still play this game the highest level. Potvin makes a big stop and then clears the rebound to keep this game at 2.
McCown goes for the new stick on the Leaf bench. The crowd trying to stay loose. And that's not easy. Toronto fans, and they see their team out there facing elimination against the San Jose Sharks, who got rid of Detroit and now working on Toronto. Garpenlov coming in. Shot it on the boards. It comes to Makarov. He'll hang on to it. Larionov and Makarov. Larionov to Makarov. He's in there with a shot. Potvin covering up. The first shot, he had a little room up high, but did not get it up that high. Potvin made a nice stop and then smothered the rebound.
Well, that's the little play that they like to use. Makarov, if he'd only step out, if he'd have stepped one step out, he'd have had much more of the net to look at. But you know you're going to get your head ripped off if you step out too late or too far.
Again, the face-off deep in the lead zone. 28 seconds left on the power play. It comes right in front of the net. Gilmore can't find it. He's tied up. And they get it out over the line with 20 seconds left in the penalty. 8:45 remaining. Third period. 2-2 tie. Sharks coming out. Norton was tied the game for San Jose. To Makarov, and he tried to stick handle through himself. Was bumped. Gilmore got him with a hip check. Leafs shot it down the ice, and the penalty is over. Andrechuk is out of the penalty box. So the teams are at full strength, and Gill broke his stick, trying to drive one. Here's Clark. Couldn't handle it cleanly. Clark fired a pass in there, but the Sharks break it up and get it to the line. Not out yet. Now it is. And through center, but here's a break. Clark is going in. He can't make the move. A good play by Makarov, getting back. Offside now. And the play stopped. Clark nearly in alone, but was stopped in time.
Center ice, the Stanley Cup. The tradition, the history, the chance to shoot for $1 million or one of over 500,000 official NHL prizes. Scratch the neck label or call for details on entry without purchase. The Molson Canadian Stanley Cup Contest.
No, you missed. No, you didn't.
Take your best shot.
We interrupt regular programming.
Let's go right to Finance Minister Frank Newman. Where will we end up on the PST and GST?
Well, Catherine, these taxes are a burden Canadians simply must bear.
Hold it. We've got Speedy mechanic Bob Cameron.
Catherine, at Speedy, you don't have to pay PST and GST on exhaust work, and that's on top of our usual low prices.
Speedy announces no PST and GST on all exhaust work.
Well, we don't have to tell you how good an offensive player Makarov is, but here is perhaps a goal-scoring, great defensive play as he comes back to knock Wendell Clark off the puck.
8 minutes left in the third period and a 2-2 tie. Game 6. Western Conference semifinal. Clark trying to muscle in there again. Irby out of the net. They shoot it to center ice. Harry saw Whitney open, trying to give it to him. Elliott got a stick in front of that pass. Harry is in there forechecking, but the Leafs. Eastwood gets it up to Clark again. Clark takes his time over the line. 3 Sharks are on him. And Elliott takes over. In there. Eastwood shot through the crease. Todd Gill fired it back to the net. Eastwood getting it. He centered it. Coming in from the line is Elliott driving one. Up over the net it goes. Eastwood and Clark looking for it. Clark trying to center it. There's Borshevsky. He has his stick on it. He gets in front and was stopped. 2 Sharks on top of Borshevsky, and he had a little room to move. 7 minutes remaining in the third. Score tied. Shots 21-20. Favor of the Leafs. Bird went up there at the Sharks line, was stopped. Here's Osborne turning. Rouse, long pass to Bird. He's onside and dumps it in for Osborne. side. Gets to center with the brakes on. The Sharks have to get back on side now. Dahlin moved in. The Leafs get it out, but Berg missed the pass. 6:20 left in the third. Dahlin looking for the change. Shoots it in and heads off. Back to the net. Marinov, Garpenlov parked in front. Larionov and Makarov, the big line on there for San Jose. Out to center. Gardner, weak shot in wide of the net. Herbe left him there at the side of the goal, and Ozolinsh is turning. Shot to center where Lefebvre tapped it down, drilled it back in. Herbe back to the net. Put everything on that puck to stop it. And the Sharks shoot it down the ice. This will be an icing call against San Jose. 5:42 remaining in the third.
What does it take to make over 600,000 of one of the world's most respected automobiles in a world-class Canadian facility? Let's just say the Canadians who work here know what makes a Honda is who makes a Honda.
$200 for a gray. The Leafs. A shot from the line by Gill. Here's another one. Andrew Chuck's shot stopped it. Eastwood missed a great chance. Eastwood with the puck back in the net. Out front it comes. Eastwood again. He comes for the net. Eastwood knocked down. Ellett kept it in. Slapped to the corner. Herbe out of the net. Fired it on the boards in time. Gill is knocked down, and it's a one-on-one. Whitney coming at him, and Erie catching up. Erie missed the net with a shot. Great opportunity for San Jose, and that one is gone. Ellett shoots it in from center. Eastwood had a great chance. Then Erie had a great chance, but it's still 2-2. The Leafs keep it in. On the boards, it goes back in the net. Clark and Larionov fight for it. It comes to Gilmore. Gilmore played it in, and Clark is stopped again, but there's Clark and Gilmore working into the corner. It is Clark coming up with it. Gilmore is flattened. Clark went after it and took it away from Larionov. Then Larionov caught it, and the puck loose. Ozolinsh trying to get out. He cannot. Gilmore trying to wrap it around. And Whitney stopped it to the line. McCann shot. What pressure now by Toronto. They're fighting hard here. Gilmore back in the net, has a chance to move it. Clark is coming in. He's around the goal. Clark now sticked Reynolds to the corner and all the way back to the line and lost it. And he'll have to come back. Everybody looking dog-tired now, and they're changing quickly. 4 minutes remaining in the third in a 2-2 tie. And the Leafs fighting for their lives. Herbe will scoop it up on a hop. And look at Gilmore right in the eye. And he holds it. We'll be back.
While every car maker offers protection to help people survive accidents, one company asked, what could be safer than not having an accident at all? Recently, they developed a new anti-lock brake, specially designed to cost less. So this year, anti-lock brakes aren't just for expensive cars, because this year, they're standard equivalent on 95% of the cars they make. Is General Motors.
Some things just don't need a date stamped on them to tell you how fresh they are. You can tell how fresh they are just by looking. Not so with the taste of Diet Colas, until now. Now Diet Pepsi introduces Fresh Taste Dating, a date stamped on every Diet Pepsi that guarantees the taste you love will be at its absolute best. Fresh Taste Dating from Diet Pepsi.
The crowd sell out at Maple Lake Gardens on their feet again as the Leafs battle hard trying to defeat the San Jose Sharks and get a 7th out of them. And you have to say right now, at this point, Sharks dominated the second. But at this point now, in the dying minutes of the third, Toronto is pressing hard. Here's a high shot. Missed the top corner. Dahlen up the center. Worked it to an open wing. Here's Ellick coming in. Drills the shot. Hit the side of the net. Zezel poking at it. He fell. Dahlen sweeping in. Dahlen has it again, but had it knocked away, and Gardner gives it to Zezel down the right wing boards. He's up there over the line, firing it into Osborne. It's knocked down, and 3 Sharks tear the other way. Peterson brings it in with Ellick, and he's taken care of with Potvin playing it ahead. The Leafs get it up to the line. Eastwood trying to find it. He does. Now in on the boards. Osborne holding it with a skate. He and Erie. And there's no further play. We are down to 3 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the third period. It was 1-0 Toronto in the first. 1-1 after 2. Clark and Norton have scored here in the third. It is 2-2.
It is overtime now, Bob. There's no question about that. The Leafs can't afford to make a mistake. If you'll notice, Constantine has gone to 4 lines more often in the last half of the game than he did in any other game, and that often forced Burns to go to the 4th, but Burns is skipping the 4th line in this shift.
3:11 left, third period, game 6. Allen forced to go back. Odgers on the ice. He's in for checking against Dave Ellett, and Ellett just waits back there. Eastwood takes the puck. Not much room to move out. The Sharks every man up. Now Ellett gets a chance to clear, and he skates with it. Dave Ellett through center. Going in with a shot. That's deflected wide, and it came off the boards. Right to Irbe. He had his eye on it all the way. 2:45 remaining.
Well, there's not one person in this building, including these 2 guys, that don't know one mistake means the 7th game for Mr. Constantine and the start of the long summer if the Leafs make it for Mr. Burns.
Clark with the 2 Maple Leaf goals. Larionov and Norton had scored for San Jose. Nail-biting time now, folks. 2:45 left in the third. And the score tied 2-2. From the face-off, the Leafs jump on it. Borshevsky back of the net, centered it. Cronin was there to cover up. Erie skating away for San Jose. Odgers catching up. The shot in on the net. Potvin made the save. Odgers going in. Everybody stopped, thought maybe a whistle had sounded. It is Gill taking the puck and then taking a hit. Ellett goes around the net. Odgers went after him. Andrechuk trying to tip it out. Does get it out to center ice. Garpenlaw fed it back to Norton. He is turning. Norton. 2:10 left in the third. Ahead to Garpenlaw. Up there with Makarov near the Leaf line. And Ellett played the man all the way. Gilmore took care of Makarov. And it's Ozolinsh missing it. Clark getting to center and trying to catch up. Will Clark in on Norton. Norton got a piece of Clark, and Ozolinsh is turning it back. However, it is McCown at center. Up to Gardner. Gardner able to jam. It's stopped by Irbe. The Sharks get it out. 2 of them race up there. Larionov, ever dangerous going in. Lefebvre faked them out of position and then took off for Toronto. Lefebvre played it up on the wing. Gilmore can't handle the pass. Gardner missed it, and the puck goes flying over the boards near the Leaf bench. 1 minute and 30 seconds left in regulation time. 2-2.
Well, Arthur Zerbe made a great stop on that hard slap shot by Gardner. When you're playing against the Larionov line, you have to be very careful. A bad pinch, a neutral zone turnover, or a blind offensive centering pass can spring these 3 guys, and they won't make a mistake if they get a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1, and there was the stop I mentioned by Arthur Zerbe with his right foot.
A minute and a half left in the third period. Score tied at 2. Zezel against Ellick. Zezel won it, but he hooked it by Gill, who has to go back deep in his own zone. Todd Gill. Takes his time coming out. The pass intercepted up the line. Gill got it by Duchesne. Went up after it and lost it. And it's Dahlin coming in with Duchesne. Shot. Up and the save. Osborne up to Berg. He's alone though. He went around one man. Krumba got a piece of him. We're in the final minute of regulation time. Toronto trying to stay alive in this Stanley Cup series. Here's Krumba. Osborne went in to hit him. It's shot to the line and it gets out with 45 seconds remaining in regulation time. The Sharks are changing quickly. Up to center, it's stolen by Whitney. Then Gilmore got it and lost it. 34 seconds. Down to the line. Gilmore got in. Baker caught him and shot it back out. 28 seconds. Fired in there for Moore. Jason Moore with 22 seconds remaining. Lost it. Gardner. He's moving out. Gardner and Gilmore coming in. Shoots. And he missed the net with that shot. Rouse. He fired a shot. Gilmore back at the goal. Around the net. Gilmore 9 seconds left. Gilmore left it in the corner. 5 seconds left. The San Jose Sharks clear the zone. And we have overtime here in Game 6.
Well, it's been a 3-period game. The first the Leafs owned, the second the Sharks owned, and the third was very even. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are now into a situation where one goal means it's over. The San Jose Sharks, of course, have one more life if the Leafs score. So this is big-time tension, overtime, when your team, if you're a Leaf fan, goes down the drain if they get scored on.
Toronto outshot San Jose 8-7 in that third period. And over 3 periods now, 23 by Toronto, 22 by San Jose. And the score remains tied at 2. So the score after regulation 2-2, and we'll return with overtime right after this.
The Molson Canadian Stanley Cup Contest. Win a trip to 2 1994 Stanley Cup games and a chance to shoot for $1 million. Or win one of over 500,000 official NHL prizes. Scratch the neck label or call for details on entry without purchase. The Molson Canadian Stanley Cup Contest. Take your best shot.
If you're looking for a way to move around a large group and a few of their things, check out a Chevy Astro. It offers enough cargo space to equip an all-star hockey team and enough room to comfortably seat a forward line, 2 defensemen, and a goalie. That's included. And with standard 4-wheel anti-lock brakes,
Astro makes it a snap. Gee! Getting the home team safely home. Watch the knees, watch the knees.
Hey, this new Pepsi Max is really something, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it tastes of regular cola and 1/3 of the calories.
I'll grab that for a second.
Yeah, sure. What are you doing? I want to see if they filled it up 1/3.
Can't you just enjoy the taste
It's
without...
the only way to explain this calorie thing.
You're not going to open it, are you?
Oh, don't worry. You see, the lower pressure created by the chilling will keep the expansionary forces of the carbon dioxide at bay.
Who's going to open it?
It's elementary.
New Pepsi Max.
Oh, geez.
All the taste, 1/3 the calories.
Until now, I always believed the movie Jaws was scarier. But if you're a Leaf fan, the San Jose Sharks Toronto Game 6 is. 3-2, the Sharks lead the series. Let's begin, Don, with Harry mentioning the point that for the Leafs, they lose, it's over. Is there a comfort level for San Jose going into the overtime?
Everybody's up for this one. They don't think they've got a comfort zone. They've got to win this one because they don't want to go the 7th game here. They're playing a great game. This is a Sharks game. This is exactly what they wanted. They wanted, if you could have said 2-2 going into overtime, this is the way they play. You see how they check. They send 1 guy in, 2 guys back. Boy, that's tough playing. Watch, they'll do the same thing in overtime. Tough playing against, boy, because you're going. They've got the wings, and they just saunter out. I'll tell you, they're tough.
And you can feel the Leafs are petrified of taking a penalty. They're kind of around, not sure whether or not...
Well, I don't think he's going to call. You'd have to... I think Bill's pretty good in overtime. He doesn't call any chintzy ones like that. If a guy's got a breakaway, he's going to call it. but I thought the Leafs were coming on at the end. I still say they're going to win. Is Gilmore something at the end there? It's unbelievable. He's possessed.
During the regular season, Toronto had 4 overtime victories. Rob Pearson had an OT winner. In fact, that was in Miami when they got off to that.
Tough to get it tonight.
Yes, it will be. 10-0 start while the other team was in the tank. Glenn Anderson had 1 and Wendell Clark had 2. He's already got 2 tonight. The law of average just says, does he get a hat trick with the overtime winner? And for San Jose, Sergei Makarov and Tom Peterson, they haven't been in overtime in the playoffs yet.
Well, I'll tell you, the big thing, he always has a guy back. You ever notice Toronto never gets a 3-on-2. They never get a 2-on-0. They never get a 2-on-1. There's always one guy back. And I'll tell you, that's pretty good coaching.
Although Clark was alone in the slot, late stages, third period, and he also had another chance for Makarov.
Well, I don't mean he's in the slot. I mean breaking out of their end. When the guy pitches in, there's always a guy back. Got to admire these guys. How they've got this far is beyond me.
Playing on a hinge.
Playing on a hinge. I'm going to talk about that next time.
Sorry, didn't mean to give it away.
You're going to blow everything I do from now on?
Absolutely. We're going to keep scooping you as best we can. 2 goals. If you joined us late third period. It looked like Clark might have the winner. Here it is. And it's very similar to that goal against Eddie Belfour that caused all the commotion. Except that he doesn't touch Irby. You don't want to comment on it?
No, every people, what am I going to tell them? They can see it just as good in the front. That's what you got to do. Put it on. There's 2 goals they've got along the ice. Keep the puck along the ice, this guy. Well, here's the other one coming here. That guy should have been picked up. I'll tell you, when I see a defenseman walking in from the point and nobody has a hand on him, that's murder. That's a killer right there. That guy walking in Norton like that, I mean, somebody should be shot in that one.
Yeah, I feel bad, too, because Lacroix just in for the game. It's a little tough to pick on him, but there he was, and probably didn't know who to look for. As you say, this is a little treat for you, Dougie Gilmore.
Yeah?
3 overtime winners in his career, and we're going to show them.
Aren't you good?
Yes.
Here's the most valuable player in the league coming up as far as I'm concerned. I'll talk about him again Saturday.
This was back April 13, 1984. Number 9, I think he's wearing back then, right? Oh, he's wearing number 18, so he hasn't even put on number 9 yet. There he is,
with the backhand along the ice. He knows that. Here he is. He picks it up. They shook his hand on that one. He's in front.
That line, Colin Patterson, Joe Mullen, and
whatever happened to Colin
Gilmore.
Patterson?
That's a good question.
I always liked that guy.
And
then,
then,
look at him stand in front. Watch this. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Walks out on Curtis Joseph. Here he comes around again. Oh, what a goal. Rock'em sock'em, that was on. What a hockey player. Got to dig down. We're going to see who's got the guts now, boy. She's over the hill if we don't do it, but they're going to do it.
Couple of things before Paul Henderson comes in.
Yes.
Don't go to bumper yet.
There's a guy that can score the important ones, boy.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 times. Amazing, eh? Game winners in 72 Summit Series. The Olds Grizzlies, congratulations to them. They won the Centennial Cup, emblematic of Tier 2 Junior A supremacy. They scored in the final minute to tie it against Kelowna, won it in overtime, so that ties in.
Kelowna's good, too, though. Don't think they were in there.
Yeah,
tough way to lose.
No, it's great for Olds, though. Beautiful new rink that they built about 10 years ago.
Kamloops, you going to mention them?
Who are you picking? North Bay or Kamloops?
This is tough because Bert's my friend, but he does have, he's got a Russian on there, and the other guys don't have a Russian, so, Bert, you kind of, but it's going to be a beauty.
What about Kamloops or Laval?
Well, I don't know about those. I don't know anything about those guys, but I know one thing, Kamloops, strictly Canadian. What is it? Bob Brown says no Europeans on my club.
Right, they're allowed to now. He says none.
Canadian junior hockey, so that's what it's for.
You're taking the Blazers over the Centennial?
I don't know. I'm going to have to. Bert's a friend of mine. I got a bar in North Bay, so I got to be careful.
There you go. Don Cherry, won't Laval with us? Laval with us. What? I have to represent the other side. Oh. We're tied. Nice time to be having fun on Molson Hockey Night in Canada, the Stanley Cup playoffs on CBC.
Well, we've got a new special tonight.
It's Red Lobster's Scampi Tails and Shrimp Platter.
It's got everything.
Sweet Scampi Tails, plus 2 different kinds of savory shrimp for a limited time.
Only at Red Lobster.
Do you ever notice that every time you want to do something fun, somehow you get hung up? I mean, every time you want to be with your friends, it seems you're stuck at home, waiting for a call. But with a Cantel personal pager, you'd have real freedom. So come on, don't let life pass you by. Get a Cantel personal pager today. Your portable message machine. From Cantel, Canada's national paging service.
A hypothesis is a hunch not validated by fact. Take the space cadet theory.
One rides the TTC because A, you have to ride it, B, you can't afford not to ride it, or C, you're a schlep. Truth is, almost 400 million rode the TTC last year because it was a convenient, reliable way from A to B. Hard to believe? Ask some of our regular schleps. To work, to the ROM, to the movies, there's always a time when it is the better way. Ride the rocket.
Now that your kids are spending more time outdoors, burning up all that energy, remember, it's still important to give them that warm, wholesome feeling inside with instant Quaker oatmeal. It's still the right thing to do.
Back live at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, where it's 2-2 after 3 periods of play. Bound for overtime, the Leafs facing elimination against the San Jose Sharks here in Game 6. Among the many enjoying the game live at the Gardens, there's rock star Neil Young. And of course, you'll all know his dad, Scott, who worked for Hockey Night in Canada for a time. He's written so many books, wrote about Foster Hewitt, wrote about this program. And Neil, of course, famous for all those platinum-selling albums. Can't beat Neil Young. Cinnamon Girl. That'd be my favorite song, I'd have to say. Neil Young. You got a favorite Neil Young song? Old Man. What am I, nuts? Yes. Somebody mentioned that one. Speaking of Cherry. Now, Paul, speaking of a wiser side of analyzing the game here tonight. Look at him looking through the window. What do you think of it so far?
Well, I think it's, like you say, it's a typical San Jose hockey game. They try to frustrate you, and they are, and I think the Leafs are a better team, and I think the Leafs are going to win.
Well, now, you have a little explaining to do here, because the word has it, you gave them a pep talk, San Jose, before the Detroit series, and then you gave them a pep talk before the start of the Toronto series, and look what you've done.
Well, I can't take any credit for that. Actually, the chaplain for the team, the San Jose Sharks, is a friend of mine, and he asked me to come down and speak to them. So I spent more time with the coaches than I do with the players.
Pat Ritchie, the chaplain for the San Francisco 49ers. It's a nice subject to broach. Mike Gartner, Mark Osborne, a couple of Leafs who are Christian athletes, and I always find it intriguing to balance looking after that side of your spiritual life and yet getting into these tough physical hockey games. It's got to be tough. Tell me, first of all, about why Pat Ritchie made the call to you, and what did you say to the Sharks, and who was there, for that matter?
Well, 4 of their coaches came out, and 9 of the players. It was totally voluntary, and I just shared some of the things of my experiences in life, and in terms of, hey, you give it your best shot, but, you know, maybe take a look at the spiritual side of life, because I found that maybe gives a little balance. And guys like Gartner and Osborne, I think there's about 28 guys in the league now that are Christians, and so, you know, put it out there. If you want to listen, fine. If you don't, that's terrific too. But the bottom line is, it's a hockey game, and you got to go out there and give it your best shot. And I would like to see Gartner, Osborne, any one of the Leafs score.
Absolutely. Let's go back to, for some of our younger audience, it's amazing. Jim Proudfoot told me a story today. Jim Proudfoot and Bill Stevenson works for CFRB in Toronto, are the only two alive who covered the Trail Smoke Eaters victory in '61. And a hockey writer from Dallas said, is that the greatest moment in Canadian international hockey until this World Championship this year? He says, Jim Proudfoot says, no way, absolutely. It's nothing compared to the '72 Summit Series. And the Dallas writer says, well, what's that? 3 overtime goals, or not overtime, but game-winning goals you scored in games 6, 7, and 8. You've been through it a billion times, and I'm sorry to drag you through it, but what is it, Paul, that gets into a player's head that evidently got into your head that allowed you to come up big 3 times in a row?
Well, I can't explain it. It never happened to me after that. It never happened before me, but I really had the impression that I was going to score a goal in the 7th and the 8th games. I'd never called a player off the ice before in my life. In the last game, called Peter Mahavlich off. And it was just something, I just had a feeling that I would score. Now, occasionally in there, I was a pretty positive guy. And I remember with the Leafs, I'd say, okay, I've got one. And I would on occasion say that. And occasionally I would score. A lot more times I didn't score. And I think that's what the Leafs need right now. They need somebody in there to think positively. I think that's what Burnsy needs to do. Hey, we can do it. And I think they will do it.
You made the point that if they could ever get through this series, it'd be a little clearer sailing because the Sharks are a mystery to them.
I think so. I think they would really play. I've been impressed by the way they play. They've got some quality hockey players out there. I think they're well coached also. And I think they'd really do well against Vancouver. I think they'd beat Vancouver in 6. And who knows against the Rangers. But these fellas, everybody knew they were going to be a frustration, and they totally are.
Well, sorry, Pat Quay. We just had to bring that up. Paul lives in Toronto. What do you expect? You and I work together on the Esso penalty-free sweepstakes, and it's been a great time for 6 years that we've been doing that, helping to promote sane hockey, and thanks for stopping by here.
My pleasure.
Paul Henderson, former Leaf great, and of course the star of '72. As you know, San Jose, Toronto, if necessary. Game 7 will be played Saturday night here at 8 o'clock Eastern. We will have action for you Sunday for certain. The New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers kick it off at Madison Square Garden. That's at 7:30 ET. The Devils have played 13 games. The Rangers have played 9 thus far. We're going to overtime in Toronto next on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Hewlett-Packard LaserJet printers. The smart, reliable way to make a better impression.
92.5 KISS FM plays North America's hottest music. New Country. The music of the 90s.
I feel lucky, yeah.
92.5 KISS FM. Today's hottest music. The new definition of country. New definition. New Country. Only on 92.5 KISS FM.
When you care about the city you live in, you look out for those who live in it. We're looking out for you.
If the Sharks can get a goal here, they'll meet Vancouver in the best-of-7 Western Conference Final. If Felix Potvin can stop them and the Leafs can score, well, this series will continue to Saturday. This is showtime, folks. Overtime in this conference semifinal. The Maple Leafs and the San Jose Sharks.
Well, it's tough to pick a better team tonight. In most of the games in this series, it was fairly obvious who the better team was. But tonight, it's been a knuckle biter for sure. And I'm sure the San Jose Sharks, if you can feel comfortable in overtime, feel a little more comfortable than do the Leafs, who have no more chances. And of course, the Sharks would if they lost.
These two have said all they can say. It's now drop the puck at center ice and go for it. 2-2, Clark with both Maple Leaf goals. Larry on off in the second, and Norton tied it in the third. After one goal, Clark had given the Leafs a 2-1 lead. So the shots are 23-22 in favor of Toronto over 3 periods, and that's how close this game has been.
Have been one of the better overtime teams this season. They've played more of them in the playoff history, but none of that counts when the puck gets an inch out of McCurry's hand in this overtime.
Toronto now has played the San Jose Sharks 10 times, and they've won 2. 4, of course, in the regular season, and here, Game 6, we've gone to overtime. Toronto starts out. They have to dump it out because the Sharks were all in for checking, and this is going to create an icing call against Toronto.
Well, Berg's complaining that he was hit in the face when he was trying to take the icing away by Jason Moore. That's one vote for no beards in the playoffs. It might have cut him, and he would have had the evidence he needed. Jason Moore trying to run a little interference. Here comes Berg. And there it is right there. Cronin going back, cuts the puck to get the 200-foot advantage.
Face off to the right of Potvin. Zezel against Baker. DePuzzo, the linesman, drops it in. San Jose win the draw. But the Leafs get the puck back quickly, and Berg shot it off the boards to the center ice area. Sharks shoot it back in, and Todd Gill missed it up the blue line. He's coming back. Here comes Erie. Ran into Gill. Elliott got rid of it. Bird can't get it out. He fell on it. And it swept to center by Zezel. The Sharks in control early. Playing with some poise. They shoot it in and make changes. Up it comes to Osborne. He drives one in. Wide of the net. There goes Bird. He played it in, and Gilmore missed it back of the goal, and 3 Sharks line up to come out. It is banked on the boards to center to Garpenlov, and Gartner caught him. They slap it ahead. Makarov steals it. Here's Garpenlov. Shot! Goal! No! He hit the crossbar. It hit the crossbar here in overtime. Garpenlov, a wicked shot. Potvin was frozen, and it hit the crossbar. So they're still alive in overtime. Boy, the Sharks, if they can't win this game, will think about that. Wide open. Garpenlov, and a bullet shot. Wow. The Leafs are still alive. Clark. He's up with a shot. Didn't get too far. Krupa blocked it. Clark and Gilmore went after it. Clark lost it back to the net. The Sharks will pick it up. Duchesne coming to the line, gets it to the line, but not out. Now it'll be brought to center by Elliott. He's down the left side. 4 of them are going in. Elliott getting set. And here's Cronin coming up. He's in. And the backhander stopped by Potvin. Sharks coming very close here. One crossbar. A couple other chances. Rouse drifting one in. Here's Eastwood. He can't center it. Whitney is back for San Jose. Here's Eastwood stealing it. He's around the net. Eastwood can't jam it in. And Hervé falling to the right. Gets his glove on it. Well, there's nothing laid back about San Jose in overtime. It might have been like that throughout the series, but not now.
Great poke check by Hervé to stop Eastwood from getting around the bend on the attempted wraparound. Garpenlov, who has the best shot among the forwards on the San Jose Sharks, wired one after a Leaf turnover in their own zone and rattled it off the crossbar. Here's the Leaf chance. Watch the nice poke check by Hervé so Eastwood cannot get out in front of the net. Right there.
Big play by the goalie.
Here's the Garpenlov shot, 32 feet. Had Potvin beaten, hit the wrong side of the crossbar, if you're a Shark fan.
Oh, Potvin couldn't move on that. That was a wicked shot by Garpenlov. He got all of it and probably hit it too hard. A little lower, and this was over. We're in overtime. We played 2:36. You know how tight those meshes are. Sometimes the puck is in and out quickly. Well, that one clearly on the crossbar. The Leafs win the draw, and Elliott drives his shot. That's deflected into the crowd. And it hit a San Jose player, so the face-off remains inside the line.
Those Leaf wingers have got to stop those Shark wingers from getting out after they win the draw. That's why that puck went up into the end of the rink. Nobody blocked the Shark right winger. You got to hold him up for a second.
Baker against Zezel. Every face-off is important now, doesn't matter where it is. Here's Todd Gill. His shot is blocked in front of the net. Gill knocked one down at the blue line. Another shot, that's blocked. Erie blocking shots tonight. And there's another big save by the captain.
Well, they have blocked a lot of shots tonight, the Sharks have. Cronin blocked it. Gill got it again. Erie blocked it. You're taking a chance when you go down. If Todd Gill could have stepped around Erie, look at the room he would have had. But Todd Gill, like all defensemen, worried about bouncing the puck off the shot blocker's pads out behind him and giving the San Jose Sharks a 2-on-1 break.
Another face-off inside the San Jose line. Baumgartner and Erie bumping just outside. They're pushed back a bit. Erie and Baumgartner still yapping and pushing. The play goes right on, and the Sharks win the draw and get out. It is Jason Moore coming out there. He flipped it in. Odgers skating in there hard, but it's Zezel who gets back quickly, and he wasted little time. He just shot it away. This will be icing. Norton back to touch it ahead of Berg. Just ahead of Berg.
The fans upset with that icing call because the Shark defenseman put his hand up to catch it, to keep it in the zone, and missed it. And in the opinion of DePuzzo, who's the linesman who made the call, Zezel wants to dump it right there. You know, the rule of thumb is you got to try and stop it if you're a defenseman. Most of the time with your stick, but an icing's a tough thing to get these days in the National Hockey League.
This face-off to the left of Felix Potvin. Leafs win it. Lefebvre turns. Big crowd over there, though. No place to go, so he dumped it out. And it got over the boards. And another face-off coming inside the Leaf line.
The way the Sharks play defensively, it's not easy to go up the boards on the breakout. They don't roar in and forecheck like a lot of teams do. They sit two guys back and they take at least the near boards away from you. You have to throw it through somebody to get it out.
Here's the face-off. Karpanov gets it back. The shot is blocked. Karpanov left it up the line for Ozolinsh again. He's coming in with a backhand pass. That doesn't get in front. Here's Lariano! And down goes Potvin. Just got his pads there in time. The Sharks come close again. Lefebvre shoots it the other way. Norton can't stop it. And he's going to call out on icing. No, I believe it might have been waved off. So Irbe plays it. Icing was waved off by the linesman Mitten on the other side. From center. Shot in. Wendell Clark has it. He took a quick shot block. Now he tries to get along the boards, and he does. Gilmore back to the net. Sharks in front of the goal. Here's Gilmore. He missed it, though. Lefebvre coming along the boards. Kept it inside the line. Makarov got it out. Karpanov and Ozolinsh down with Larionov. Three of them. Larionov passed. Ozolinsh back to him. He was in a great spot for a shot. Makarov drives one. That's wide. And it's fired over the glass. Ozolinsh will dream about the chance he had to send his team to the Western Conference Final. He didn't want it.
You cannot give this line a 3-on-2. Ozolinsh made one pass too many. If he'd have completed it, the game would have been over. And you're right, Bob, if he'd have shot it, it might have been over. But the Leafs get caught. All three forwards caught. There's the pass into the slot after the fake shot. Why didn't he shoot it? Makarov thought he was going to shoot it, and he passed it late and passed up a great scoring opportunity. This kid is going to be a great one. Sandis Ozolinsh.
Face off inside the Leaf line again. Back to the line. Krupa turns. No shot. Peterson drives one in. Stick made contact in front of the net. It is Dahlin picking it up on the boards. Dahlin working the boards beautifully. Comes out front. And the Leafs steal it and skate away. Andrechuk up the center. Eastwood is catching up. And Andrechuk drives it in. Borshevsky along the boards. Borshevsky is stopped. Ellick knocked it down. And the Sharks got an attack going again. Peterson rolling in over the Leaf line. But he made the move. With the puck going back out and in again on a stick. And they're offside.
That's the third odd man rush the Leafs have given the Sharks in the first slightly less than 5 minutes of the overtime. All three forwards on one side of the rink trapped. Here it comes here. The defensemen get out. One guy has to get back in the middle of the rink. Andrechuk comes over and goes down as the third man, and the rush is squandered on an offside.
Toronto hasn't had a shot in overtime yet. The Sharks had some chances. Moore drives one in deep. Around the net is Gill. Flipped it on the glass. It does not get out. Now it's scooped to center ice and inside the San Jose line by Zezel. Baker had trouble controlling it. Todd Gill flipped it up to Andrechuk, and he drives it off Cronin, and Irbe comes out of the net. Lifts it high on the glass. The Leafs keep it in. It's centered by Berg. Zezel to Berg. He had to turn back from the net. Berg flipped it to the corner. Moore has the lead player trapped in there, and he can't move on it. And the Sharks get it out. Andrechuk is still trapped in there by Jason Moore. And obviously he can't play it away offside, but Moore would not leave Andrechuk.
Well, the players know that referee McCurry is going to sort out the fouls and only call the ones that are either a retaliation punch or high stick or ones that take away a goal-scoring opportunity. And so they, with that in mind, have a little more freedom to hold and hook and run interference.
Our executive producer of this show, our producer, director, and all the other guys and gals who make this possible. It's scare time for the Toronto Maple Leafs. In overtime in Game 6, the Sharks need a win to advance. The Leafs need a win to get a 7th game. And here's Makarov coming with Garpenlov. Up to center. From the line, it's shot in wide of the net, and Potvin tipped it away. McCown up through the middle to Clark. Clark gets to the line with Gilmore, but he was offside. That stops that rush. I mentioned that the Leafs haven't had a shot in this period. You know what? The Sharks haven't had a shot either. They had the crossbar and a couple that were ruled off the net.
They had the crossbar in 2 3-on-2. The pass was in the feet of Gilmore, or he would have been onside. He tried to kick it up. It's not easy for him to do with that bad leg. He was telling me this morning, kicking pucks up to a stick, which he's great at, is nearly impossible with his bad ankle.
Clark with the 2 goals for the Maple Leafs. Larionov and Norton, the scorers for San Jose. We played 6:10 of overtime. Krupa behind the net. Borshevsky forechecking. Krupa got away from him. Borshevsky fell. Duchesne takes it at center. He gives it to Peterson, who gets the line and dropped it back. Dahlen's shot will come off the glass, back of the net to hit the side of the goal. And the Leafs jump on it quickly, and Dave Ellett was there to get it ahead to Borshevsky. Coming up with Gill, the defenseman. Now Hervé out of the net. Poked it back to the goal. Leafs forechecking. Dahlen takes it. Dahlen takes lots of time. Now Krupa's pass. That is blocked. Gilmore didn't see it first. Now he does, and it's shot in there. Peterson comes back. Berg is trying to get in, and he was grabbed from behind. The Leafs are changing, and Dahlen got up to center ice. Dahlen didn't get too far, and Duchesne had to pick it up and shoot it in. They're trying to get off. Here come the Leafs. Rouse gets to center and shoots it in. Hervé made no mistake stopping that one. He shot it high again. It is Berg keeping it in. Hervé left it there for Ozolinsh, and he cleared it on the boards to Makarov, and he stopped. Again, the Leafs are on it. It is a pass in front by Eastwood. It'll come back to him. A shot. That's blocked in front by Ozolinsh. Ahead to Norton. And Makarov gets away from a hit. Keeps going and centered it. Norton centered it. And Toronto's Osborne was back. Osborne's pass. Tipped down the ice by Eastwood. He is going off. Nearing 8 minutes of play in overtime. The pass by Ozolinsh. Hit Norton, so he has to go behind the net again. Now through the middle. Larionov knifed it to center ice, and Garpenlov shot it in. Toronto back. Sharks changing again. Lefebvre trying to find a hole to get going. Andrechuk is bowled over. McCown, he waited. Neary was on top of him. Now the Leafs get it to center ice. But the Sharks are taking over between the 2 blue lines. And they stack them up there and keep pushing the puck back in. But now, here's Gilmore getting away. Gilmore comes over the line. Gilmore leaves it. Shot by Andrechuk. Missed the net. Gartner after it. Odgers couldn't clear it. Mironov's shot is blocked. Erie has the puck inside his own line. He's tied up. stayed with him. Now it's Rouse shooting. Hits the side of the net. Gilmore centered. Score! Gardner scores! And Toronto sends the series to a 7th game this Saturday. Went 8 minutes and 53 seconds, and that was the first official shot. You know, like they say, it only takes one, and Gartner got it for the Leafs.
Gartner, I think we're going to have to look at the replay here, banked it off Arthurs Urbe into the net. A goal scorer's goal. Most guys that haven't scored as many as Gartner might try something else. A turnover on the forecheck. The Leafs did a lot of this in the first period, none in the second, and a little bit in the third. Gartner swoops in. Gilmore tries to throw the puck out to him, and Gartner's behind the net. When he banks it off, Arthurs Urbe into the goal. Urbe gets lost in the crease, never does get up, and it goes in from the icing line. And here's the Leaf bench.
The goal jammed in. Everybody standing. And oh, baby, we're going to 7 games. Well, this game has been up and down all evening. Clark scored first, and the Leafs were all fire in the opening period. Larionov in the second. Tied it. Clark got another, and then Norton tied it, and this man, Mike Gartner, scored at 8:53 of overtime, jamming it in to win it for Toronto. The final shots, 24-22 in favor of the Maple Leafs. And the final score here in Game 6, which means there'll be a Game 7. Toronto 3. San Jose 2. Here's Ron McLean.
Friday night, we're going to Game 7. Wendell Clark's the #1 star this evening. Igor Larionov, the #2 star. And the hero of the evening, Mike Gartner, is the #3 star. Paul Henderson played another hunch. The Molson 3 stars you see there. You think of the crossbar, you think of Ozolinsh, you think of the Cat and the 9th Life versus the Sharks. Don't forget, Saturday night, Game 7 at 8 o'clock Eastern. The final tonight, Toronto 3, San Jose 2. For all of us, thanks for watching and good night.
She's only 18 and hasn't had her license long. Maybe she's late, but maybe she's lost. So call. Boldly go with Bell Mobility.
We'd like to talk to you about European sports sedans. As a matter of fact, we do. Like the great European sports sedans, we designed the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme to have ample performance and room for 5 adults. It also boasts a potent 160 horsepower sequentially fuel-injected V6, nimble 4-wheel independent suspension, anti-lock brakes, and a litany of standard features. Well, hey, it's your Deutschmarks.
The Keg creates a classic steak dinner. Top sirloin, grilled the Keg way, over hot, burning mesquite, to seal in all its natural flavor and tenderness. Add a baked potato, crispy onion strings, and sautéed mushrooms. A generous Caesar salad, great service, that relaxed Keg feeling, all included. See you tonight.
It's the 15th hole. You think you're on your way to a birdie. The boss thinks you're on your way to a meeting. So call. Boldly go with Bell Mobility.
Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC was brought to you by Molson Canadian. Take your best shot in the Molson Canadian Score a Million Stanley Cup contest. And by Pepsi. Be young, have fun, drink Pepsi. CBC Sports, home of the champions.
This is CBC.
The CBC Evening News.
Tonight, the child support ruling under attack.
Somebody has to pay the tax.
Blindness in the wake of the eclipse. Made in East Germany makes a comeback. And on our magazine, getting tough with young offenders. Growing public demand for longer sentences for kids who commit violent crimes. But will that make a difference?
Most of us will be out by the time we're 20 if we commit a murder.
The Young Offenders, the latest in our Crime in Canada series. CBC Primetime News with Pamela Wallen and Peter Mansbridge.
Good evening. More fallout tonight over a precedent-setting court ruling. More confusion and, to quote the Justice Minister, more chaos. In the ruling, the Federal Court of Appeal said it is discriminatory to tax child support payments. That's left divorced parents in a quandary, and it's left Ottawa with a serious political problem.
As we reported last night, the federal government is preparing to appeal the ruling to the Supreme Court. It would want the High Court to hear the case as soon as possible, and in the meantime, the government would ask that the ruling be stayed, in effect, set aside. With the latest, here's the CBC's Keith Bogue.
Family lawyer Lauren Wolfson has been writing to clients trying to answer their questions about the child support tax ruling.
Wives are anxious to know whether or not the support payments they've been receiving up to now are taxable or not taxable. Husbands are interested to know whether or not the payments they're making are still deductible.
Good questions to which there are no firm answers yet. The first thing Wolfson needs to know is whether the government will appeal the tax ruling. Government sources say the answer to that is yes, but ministers won't confirm that until they first explain publicly why they believe an appeal is necessary. That started here at the Federal Liberals Biennial Convention. Justice Minister Alan Rock appeared in front of the Liberal Party's Women's Commission this morning to give his first strong indications of the government's plan. He didn't quite say the government will appeal, but listen to what he did say.
The court judgment changed the rules abruptly, changed them unevenly, introduced an imbalance, an uncertainty, and, perhaps, hardship.
That leads to this.
We're considering an appeal of the Thibodeau judgment not because we wish to take money away from those who need it most to care for children.
Rock and Finance Minister Paul Martin say they need to appeal simply to find out for certain the legal limits on tax policy. But that doesn't satisfy some Liberal backbenchers. MP Beryl Gaffney is against an appeal. She says Rock and Martin are out of touch with the complaints of single parents who need more money.
I think that they need to go outside of the outside of the Finance Department, outside of the Justice Department, and consult much wider than what they have done.
Even if the government ignores Beryl Gaffney's advice, it cannot ignore the source of her concern. Justice Minister Rock agreed when one Liberal warned him that whatever the government decides to do, it cannot be seen to be, quote, picking on women. Keith Bogue, CBC News, Ottawa.
The defense presented its case today at the court-martial of the man who led Canadian Air Forces during the Gulf War. Colonel Romeo Lalonde is accused of fondling and sexually harassing a female captain under his command, as the CBC's Sasha Petrusik reports.
The scene of this alleged crime was halfway around the world, near the base Canadian soldiers called home during the Gulf War.
We've added
the accused, Colonel Romeo Lalonde, and the alleged victim, Captain Catherine Newman. She testified she had a real fear of being raped that night in 1991. She says in a van full of men, Lalonde sexually assaulted her. fondled her breast, all the while making lewd comments. Today, the defense presented its case. A single witness, a superior officer who says he listened to Newman's complaint, but didn't pursue it because he didn't think she wanted to. Lalonde himself did not testify in a move his lawyer calls a strategic legal twist that shouldn't be used against him.
In some cases, accused will take the stand, in some they will not. And as you know, it's a matter that cannot be considered by the court.
In his closing statements, Lalonde's lawyer attacked the credibility of the accuser. He said her fears of rape or worse in Qatar says a lot about her mental state, sort of disconnected with reality. He suggested it could be rooted in abuse she suffered as a child. He said, for some reason, Captain Newman has misinterpreted, has become so fearful, so scared, that maybe she has imagined those facts that did not take place. For much of Lalonde's side of the story, the